Sorry, I couldn't find this, and I can't remember if I showed this before. I can't remember. Oh, I know where I got it. Let me take that out of there. Got it at the Marion County Library, which I believe I'll be going by there Tuesday. I have a lot of. I get bags, and I pass them on to them. And I'm doing a whole bunch of things on Tuesday, and that is one of them. Is giving them some bags. Let me put that in there. Take that out. This book, can you even see that? God, it's faded. There's a little thing there. I'm still looking for my live. It's it's not showing up for some reason, and I don't know why. Should be showing me live, but and here this book belongs to a little girl there. But there's some wonderful illustrations in here. I believe the artist is mentioned, Mary Ellie Webb, Margaret Ellie Webb. I apologize. Wonderful little picture there. I was still not showing myself live here. Okay. Where am I live? Where did my live go? It wasn't Facebook. Why is it not YouTube showing me live? All right, it's not showing. Am I live? Is anybody here? Okay, something went screwy. I'll try to go back and let's try this again. There we go. I don't know why it was not showing up. So I thought maybe it wasn't working. It just not showing up. Okay, now I hear voices. So I'll turn that off. So I can manage this. 7:07 p.m. on April 12th, 2026. This would have been, and I know this by heart, this would have been the birthday of Henry Clay, who I think if he'd become president, we would not have had a civil war. Uh, and also David Letterman's birthday today. I have no idea how old he is. Love these illustrations. I just thought I'd share them a little bit while we were waiting for it to reconnect. And I'm also looking for a pen if I can find one. Ah, good up there. My pen basket. It's the wrong one. Hold on a second. Wrong place. Now I'm in the right place. You've had we'll see what's happening. I was talking to someone I really didn't get. I've learned a lot more today than I've ever known about him. Jason Schnell, who was a huge help with me today in doing some moving. Um, I've known Jason, I guess, for quite a number of years, but never got a chance to really talk to him till today. Very smart. He doesn't come across that way. You would not think that, but very smart, intelligent lad. He's 42. He's very smart. He's really these are wonderful illustrations. God, I can't believe this is only $1. Wonderful little book. Love this thing. Great. It's just terrific. Where's that little squirrel? This is just terrific. Wonderful illustration. Giving a sense of the form of the squirrel on the branch. Uh, that those little lines, the darkness over there on the other side where the squirrel's standing, poking around the branch. Could have done a little darkness in here to help bring out that squirrel a little bit more. I think that was misplaced. And why is that black and no black over here? Could have balanced it, but still great illustration. This too. Really nice illustration. Where are the originals? Man, trashed decades ago, likely. Anyway, this is the for a first reader by Spalding and Bryce, and I forgot to give a date. 1906. 1906. I guarantee you they're well, these are little stories. I guarantee these little stories would be hard for a sixth grader to read today. Okay. I did this drawing yesterday. I really don't care for it. I was not in the mood. I'm in this drawing mode and trying to do a moving mode and trying to draw is tough. And I've dealt with this before. So I'm just going to do something live here. We'll see what happens. How about that? Oh, this is a 6. What? Oh, let's see. I was talking to Jason about politics, and those were squirrels. Okay. One of the things I've not figured out is how I'm going to go live. I've got to go buy an AT&T store. I wasn't gonna go out till Tuesday, but I'm more and more thinking I need to go out tomorrow and get this thing solved involving my. Yeah, this is brand new. Yeah, I might go out tomorrow and see if I can. I gotta get this solved because I won't be able to go live. I'm hoping I really am aiming to be moved in as ASAP. I've been delayed because some things have taken longer than I thought, and it's harder to. It's my what's I God, I've moved now. Oh, seems like constantly for the last few years, last 3 years here. I could also call AT&T, I guess. Kiwi the blue ringneck. Hello. Does that mean you're in Australia? I usually mention the pen. I'm using a, as you can see here, a SIPA, SIPA SB56, which is a Timu product. These work as well, I find, as the ones that Jet Pens stopped carrying now. I like those a lot. Those are a little better than these because the tips will go. The problem is trying to get these. I can't find them on Timu anymore. But then again, I can't find the other pen, which is a zebra. Um, it was $7, whereas these were, I don't even know if they're a dollar each. I do like them though. They're very. This is a new one. I've tried doing some searches. I guess I need to search more on Timu. Terrible place. I know. I know. I know. I know. But still. Oh, hello. I'm in India. Indian or Indian. You're an Indian. Da 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 da. Can you draw my ock? What's your ock? Your octopus? Your octopi? Your octopi? I was just talking to my friend Jason about we had some elections here in Florida coming up in August, and we spoke. Or he was talking to me almost more for over an hour about it. And then I was just showing the school book from 1906 with lost squirrels in it, and thus came this. OC original character. Didn't just write original character. Of course, I know OC also could be Orange County, which is where I was born and raised here in Florida. And OC could also be, we had OC in our engineering department. I forget what it stood for. Something. Oh, and there's something else OC with the occupational. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of too. I don't know. Acronyms stink. Acronyms are done by the arrogant, thinking that everyone else knows the language. It's like someone who beeps a car horn. They only know why the horn has been beeped. Nobody else around them does. Only the person who beeps it, who then thinks everyone else knows why he beeped the car horn. Ugh, madness. Yep. LYK fire drawing. Um, LWK. Um, well, loading, uh, loading weak Kindle fire. There you go. I have no idea. I don't carry an acronym book. Actually, I had an acronym book. Folks don't realize acronyms were more prevalent coming from government and our country over various things 30 years ago than it is today. Most governments got away from it. The people have foolishly fallen into it. But I have a rather thick, very big book of acronyms. Stands for all sorts of things. Letters can be what you want it to be. Or as the what was the old line? It must be nice to have your own language. Low key. What's low key? Low key. What's low key? I tend to be. When you're in politics, you don't. It's best to be in the background. Don't get up front. I mean, you can if you want. Go right ahead. We do need leadership, but if I want to get things done, I stand behind the scenes. I want to do what the squirrel's doing, or so many of my friends. I'm there. A lot of folks know I'm there. I'm like a secret society, secret squirrel. Now what? Now what's this about low key? You want to be low key? And by the way, always if you're doing anything, best use your name. There's no reason. I don't like people hide behind things. Don't just tell everybody who you are. Let them know. Who cares? Again, that's the arrogance of it. Don't nobody cares, but it is good to know your name. By golly. So there's a squirrel going out to vote or to whatever he's doing. Oh, well, see ya. I don't know. I haven't seen you. I'll just, what's so, I don't understand what Kiwi has to do with anything. But I never did say, well, I'm Indian. Are you saying you're in Indiana or you're from India, which is where my half brother is right now? He's somewhere in India. Not the smartest place to be during a war, but all right. It was pre-planned. He didn't check with the war or Department of War beforehand. I can't communicate with folks anymore because they're kind of, as I say, kind of working on their own language, which is mighty confusing. Then they get mad when you don't know their language. L LW he was a LWK stood for low key. Well, I'm Cuban. You were born in Cuba? My bird is technically Indian. What bird? Were you born in Cuba? You're not Cuban unless you were born in Cuba. Even cigars aren't Cuban unless they were born in Cuba. Even if they're made of Cuban elements. Most Cuban cigars aren't made from Cuban elements. We have a problem here here in Florida. A whole bunch of folks down in Miami go around saying, I'm Cuban, I'm Cuban. They've never been there before. Have no idea what it is. All these people moved here from Cuba saying, we're going to solve. Somebody got into there's a whole book done by TJ English called The Last Kilo. It's all about with the intent we're going to take over Cuba. We're going to make money. We're going to take over Cuba. They made billions of dollars off drugs. Did Zippo the clown about Cuba, which is pretty typical. It's a bunch of cowards. Let's be honest. Yeah, tremendi. You don't know. You don't know. And why would you have a bird that's from India? Indian bird. Is he Cherokee or just give him a bow and arrow? Very hard to draw a bow, by the way. I've just been drawing them for a long time. You kind of know things after a while. Have a good grip on that. Make sure this is as long as the other piece. Of course, our birds in Florida didn't have our birds. Our Indians in Florida didn't have feathers. They might have feathers. Okay, let's make this Florida then more Seminole-esque. Red stick versus white stick, or white stick versus red stick. Their feathers came out of their band. Now, I admit I'm kind of doing this a little differently than this will be fashioned more after Florida and Florida history coming up. Mhm. I was just with a bunch of peacocks, by the way, just before I came here, and it's going to be about where I'm moving to. Oh my gosh, a whole bunch typed. Wait a sec. YouTube. All right, this is my bird. Okay, it doesn't go. I can't click on anything. Plus, I'm supposed to be drawing here. Wish I had time for all that, but I could check it out later, I guess. Are you a teenager? Are you in school? Well, and I'm unclear. You are currently in Cuba, or you were born there and got hustled over here while no one was looking. Born in Cuba, huh? Is that what you mean? All right, so you're in Cuba now. Do, 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 do. What does India have to do with anything, or Indian? I could have given him a vest. Maybe I will give him a vest. Not that necessarily vests were worn, but here in Florida, you did a lot to try to protect yourself from the elements. Today, they do it by buying things with air conditioning for some reason, and walls and windows. They should go native. We're back to cowards again. I'm all. Oh, you're born in Cuba, and you're a Floridian. Cuba's ancient history. You divorced it, you ran away from it, or someone did, and you're now in Florida. Well, there you go. You forget the Cuba garbage. That's if you think Cuba's home, go back there. That's just fine. I'm guessing then, whereabouts are you in Florida? In my state, our state. And who are you thinking about for governor? Or the areas our conversation earlier. I hope you get out to our parks, wherever you may be. You know where you are in Florida? You don't have to say. I'm not looking for an address. A county's fine. What county are you in? Take it from there. I'm born and raised in Orange County. My family's from Dade County. Little place called Coral Gables. Oh, just what I love. Also, you see what I did? I made him left-handed. I did. I wasn't really planning to do that, but that's what happened. Of course, when it came to using bows and arrows in Florida in the early days, before general development, I can make an acronym: BGD, before general development. Before Kimley Horn, post Buckley Shue and Jernigan, before them, do you think you could draw an Indian ringneck? I have no idea what an Indian ringneck is, or is that a cologne? Or is that something I can buy frozen at Publix? I've never looked for an Indian ring. Next time I'm in the frozen food section, or is that an ice cream flavor? A bird. Not familiar with him. Don't know. Not personally, at least. He's certainly not native to Florida, and I'm a Florida historian, and our state is very important. As I work so hard about our state, so we could say this is a mockingbird. Add a little bit of definition back here. Eyes closed. Make that wing just a little bit. His dark on the edges there, which actually helps tell the story. Whenever you draw, you're telling a story. No such thing. Emotion is a cheap way out of nothing. Tell your story. Always tell your story. So, and then what kind of Indian is this ring neck? A ring neck's a coat, a shirt. I think I have some ring necks in the closet. What kind of Indian is this ring neck? Sioux. You should make them Florida. You should make them Seminole, or at least a Tequesta or Tamaquan, something. A bird. Make them a Florida bird. Why would you do something you don't know? This is something I've done teaching classes. Only do things that you're familiar with. Don't do things you don't know. Why would you draw things you don't know? That doesn't make any sense. Do that which you know. And if you want to draw something you don't know, then get to know it backwards, forwards, inside out, so you can accurately depict it and tell stories about whatever it is. Some people don't believe I know as much as I do about Florida and Florida history, and I could tell you all sorts of things. What county are you in? No, I'm more interested, what county are you in our state? If you're in our state, which I don't know for sure. Never believe anything unless you have empirical evidence of it. You can actually touch it, feel it, and we're just having that conversation. Also, my friend Jason. Gets back to the emotional garbage. No emotion. Only that which exists. Or maybe this is a mosquito. We love the mosquitoes in Florida. They're our friends. Sure as hell hope we get some hurricanes this year. We need some right now. I hope hurricane season starts early. I can't believe how dry we are. It's just horrendous. Horrendous. Oh, you're in You're in West Palm. You're in Palm Beach County. You got to slow down typing, and I'm horrible at typing. But yes, what Palm Beach County. Well, I was just talking to a lady who lived in Boca Raton for a while. She was in there, well, not very long, because she can't seem to remember where she was in Boca Raton. I was explaining to her about, US 1 and Meisner Park and the Boca Raton Resort and Yacht Club and Lions and all those subdivisions going all the way out to 441 and past that, unfortunately. Also, Davy Jones from the Monkees died in Palm Beach County because Palm Beach County is mostly farmland. It's not what people think it is. It's mostly all farms out there. And that's what Davy Jones had from the Monkees. He had a big farm. So lots of those out there, Palm Beach County. I was talking to her about I was part of a group, mostly that all came from up north, that started the Museum of Cartoon Art there in Meisner Park. The building still stands. We had multiple floors of original cartoon comic book artwork. And then the snotty Northerners said, "Ew, we can't have that here." So they raised $10 million and built that stupid art museum on the other side of Meisner Park and worked hard to shut us down, which they were successful doing in those really running it were up north, not in Palm Beach County. I was part of trying to keep it going, and I did all kinds of media stuff and all sorts of things, but oh well. The building's still there. I forget what it's being used for. But across the street from where the old newsstand was, Meisner Park. And if you want to learn more about who's Meisner, Addison Meisner and his wacky brother Wilson, great book called Boca Rococo. And that's a great book about. But of course, I'm talking about Boca Raton, which is not. There's also the Great Delray Beach. Oh my gosh, with the used to have Doc's All American, now gone. The old pharmacy. I think the old pharmacy building's still there. But Hands, the arts and gift shop, Hands, closed about now 5, 6 years ago. What a great place that was. The subject of my Christmas print a few years ago, 10 years ago, 12 years ago, 15 years ago, maybe even. I'm so sad to see that go. And West Palm Beach, the historical museum, half of the old courthouse is the historical museum. The other half is a records retrieval area. Pretty cool. Of course, just north of Riviera Beach, just north of the bridge, it was a great ice cream place. But but it was the drug dealers and the road builders. The FDOT shut that place down. It was awful. The great art. The family tried to keep it up. They did not want to close, but became too much. And really, it was the FDOT that shut them down. Oh, but so much. Do learn the history of the area. Great history all throughout Palm Beach County. And forget all the snotty garbage stuff or what's on the other side of Royal Point, Sienna. It's everything else in the county that's so neat. Like going out into Lion Country Safaris in your county. I hope you've been out there. Maybe does Lion Country Safari have your kiwi blue ringneck? Whatever it is. Maybe I've seen one perched on a lion's head when I was there, a giraffe. I don't remember all the critters I saw out lion times I've been out Lion Country Safari. Since they started putting up all you may be too young, but they used to be wide open. People that the lawyers got took over, and now there's fencing everywhere and gates everywhere, and just awful. Just I have friends who are lawyers, but still shoot the lawyers and then ask questions later. Well, all right. So here is coming from you and your bird, your Cheyenne bird, ringneck bird. I have to make it Florida, so it's a Seminole. And the birds, if you ever get a chance, get out to the Tiki Museum. And now, what county is it? I think that is in Palm. Is that in Western Palm Beach County or Western Broward? I can't remember now. But it's a museum of the Seminoles. I'm sorry that Billy's Swamp Safari isn't there anymore. That was cool. I think it's still there, but it's not the same. Again, the lawyers and the virus hysteria. All right, so there you go. There's I've done 2 drawings and very, so a patriotic squirrel, which really needs some brush work. I did better job here than I did there. Now, coming up, I may do a live tomorrow, Monday at noon and do some painting. I don't know. I don't really care for this drawing. I guess I could ink it. God, I'm done so fast. And what this is taking place at Little Talbot State Park, which is north of Jacksonville, going toward Fernandina Beach, near Fort Caroline, which is straddling Duval, Nassau counties. Now I already can tell I'm gonna better draw this now than I was last night. I was really not into this. Actually, thank you, blue ring neck. I think I bought one of those blue ring necks at Sears about 30 years ago. I do like that bird drawing, actually. If you don't know archery, do learn it. I don't have any direct plans of being I need to get down to my grandparents' graves down there in Coral Gables, and I have not been able to. And I'm moving right now, so it's definitely not happening anytime before June at this point. I have to get this book done. In fact, I may not be at the homeschool convention this year because I got to get this book done of Ross Allen, and then I may work on here, inking it or something. Oh, I was going to draw this into the ear. Where's the picture this is based upon? Probably ate it. What did I do with that? Oh, I forgot to put the kitties out. Kitties, hello, 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 kitties. Say hello. So I may come back if I actually am going to ink this. Golly, I'm not even at 8 yet. May come back tomorrow and paint this just for fun. We'll see. I've got so much to do, and then I got to figure out. I may call AT&T about this hotspot thing. Used to have it on my phone, and now I don't. But I'm gonna have to do something, or I'm not doing any more lives or any more nothing. It was. I lost a lot of people when I moved last year. When I shut down for a few weeks, or well, actually ended up being about 3 months. So I don't want to do that again. I want to go right. I want to be able to go live next week and the week after. Oh, Kiwi Ringneck, I think left. But yeah, always draw what you know. Don't go reaching for things. I mean, if you like ice cream, draw ice cream. If you like spinach, if you like ice cream and don't like spinach, draw ice cream. If you like spinach and don't like ice cream, draw spinach. But don't do what you don't like or don't know. That doesn't make any sense. You're giving yourself troubles you don't need. I've given that advice over decades here, and that used to be listened to, but I notice more and more, again, back to the arrogance. People think, oh, I know better. No, you don't. You don't know better. Trust me, draw what you know. Everything else is. Maybe I'll go and draw his foot here, I think. I am going to do that. I'm going to draw a little bit of this because he's actually in the sand. Where is that picture? There it is. Already put it back in the sleeve. Anyway, I just even open it to it. This is a Florida State Parks brochure from about 1960. And let me find it. There it is. North Little Talbot Island. Little sea oats float flat in the wind. Those are very tall sea oats, may I point out, too. All right, so this damn thing open again. Here we go. And there's a number of Talbot parks around there. And of course, if you know the clothes store Talbot's, it started not far from where the park is. Of course, where ringneck squirrel. That's right. There's a ringneck squirrel. Blue ringneck. Where the ringneck is where Lily Pulitzer started. Pulitzer's started there in Palm Beach. We had a lot of clothes stores. Chico's. Chico's started over in Periwinkle Plaza on Sanibel Island, and they're still with us too for now. Do support our local businesses, please, please, please. Okay, so I'm sure the wild grass is which place here. I think a lot of very young people come in are using YouTube. They really shouldn't be. Should be over the age of 21, I think, and have expectations. I mean, this person ringneck was asking me to draw something. I think they did. Why would I do that? Because I don't know what they did. Just because I look at a picture, you don't do that. It's very unprofessional and irresponsible, and you're stealing someone else's product. Basically, what ringneck did was ask me to steal their character and didn't even realize it. That's not good. And if they were older, they would have done that. They would have known that. If their character's even any good, who knows? Who cares? Maybe Ringneck will have great success, but I don't know how. Everything's so much is against that these days. Any of us being successful, and there's so many amateurs don't know what the hell they're doing. Kids, they're screwing it up for professional people who could be professional. They themselves could be professional, but they're so full of themselves they don't realize that they need to listen to advice. Like I was just giving a ringneck squirrel. There's a ringneck squirrel. We don't have them in Florida, I don't think. I may be wrong about that. I don't think so. I'm being a little, I've got a little too detaily here because I didn't mean to do that. I want to get, I'm going to go back over this with a, yeah, I'm liking this better now. I was in the right mindset last night, I think. I got so much to do. Yeah, I think I'm going to give AT&T a call. I'll feel better once I know I have a way to have internet, which I don't have now. Because if I need to get someone to draw a line in there, I'm going to need to do it fast. Oops. Sign your work so people can read your name. Don't sign your neck, ringneck squirrel. I get too detailed in the face because I'm going to let that do a brown pen for that. Oh, I remember now. That arm was too long, and I didn't want to do it, and there I am doing it anyway. Well, thank you, ringneck squirrel, for being here. And never fall in love with your characters. Be prepared to throw them all away. Makes your life so much easier in the long run, or you get stuck with stuff you don't need, character wise. It's about storytelling. You're not a brilliant genius unless you start to really produce a lot and you get a lot of success. But most people are so dumb they don't really know what you're doing anyway. Thing is to have success overseas. Europeans draw more curly hairs so they don't look distinctly different. I'm really gonna let paint take over this drawing. So I may return tomorrow at noon. I need to. It'll get me going at noon. So because I got so much to do involving moving, that's a good way to do it. Monday tends to be a very busy day for me. I don't know if ringneck squirrel. I don't want to keep calling it ringneck squirrel. Don't know if ringneck had been to Talbot Park before. It's a bit of a haul from Palm Beach County, but it's a nice little park. There's a bunch of little parks all around there. This is the one. This one's a little out of the way. Of course, where Ringneck is where Loxahatchee is. That's a nice little. I was just talking about Zachary Taylor and the Indian Wars that were out that way earlier. Yeah, Zachary Taylor Park's a neat one there in Loxahatchee, just off the southern part of it. It's where Zachary and his men got swamped, literally swamped and stuck. We go. I need to start on the shore here. So I'm basing this on Florida places to visit. Little North Little Talbot Park. I believe there's a South Talbot Park still around. One time that was a black only church beach, like American Beach and other beaches around our state and other areas of our state. Way, way long ago. All right, so there we go. Based upon North Little Talbot Island Park. I think it's just North Little Talbot Park now, State Park. But that's from this 1960 brochure, part of my extensive Florida collection of Florida data. And I may come back tomorrow in watercolor. I don't like how I don't have the bunny really looking like he should be up here. See if I can change that a bit. Just gotta change the direction. Things I've already drawn that, but I just drew that up. Makes it look a little bit more like he's looking up that way. Because I was tired. I just wasn't in the mood to do this last night. I did a live on Facebook, and I didn't quite do what I could there. But anyway, there, and I've done this very loosely because the idea is I'm going to add watercolor to this and hold it. No, I didn't finish that, did I? Whew. Come back over here. So this is the Atlantic Ocean out here. Now, this is unlike the Gulf of America, where it's a big giant bowl and you can walk from the shore. Most people know Clearwater off around Pier 60. You could walk the sand, and as you do, you slowly go underwater, slowly, slowly keep going, going, going. On the Atlantic side, you come off of Talbot Island here, walk out, and then suddenly, as you get far out, you'd be underwater at this point, but still, there's a giant drop. It's a giant monster drop. And that's the difference between the two. Actually, Gulf of America is not as deep as people think, which is why you got different fishies living on both sides. Just adding that. Well, let's see if I can figure this out in color tomorrow. Now, I will probably, as I'm really transitioning, moving from one location to the other, there probably will be a break here, but I'm going to try to do it so I come back. I'm trying to really, just going over this a week ago, I'm really going to try to always be here. YouTube 7 p.m. on Sundays and Facebook 7 p.m. on Saturdays. That's a goal. And how's that looking? So I say what's neat about doing this is that I could do this here, look up there, and I could it cleans it up. It makes things a little zoomed out, it looks like almost. So we've got this, and I'll erase the pencils. And that a political squirrel. You deserve a squirrel in office, and a mockingbird after the dreaded prey, the mosquito, somewhere in a park, somewhere in our wilds. Thank you all for watching, being a part of things. I'm going to go ahead and pull the plug a bit early because I got a lot of work to do to pack and get going. I'll see y'all later. Rob Smith here. Take care. Good night. Good night.